Welcome everyone to Dead Talk Live. I'm your host Viz from Walking Dead Now. Want to welcome all of our viewers tonight. We hope you can spend the next hour with us. If this is your first time on our show, please get more information about our show by visiting our website at deadtalklive.com. And as always, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is called Walking Dead Now. Marko is going to be handling the text chats tonight, and I'll be talking to you guys live on the air. So how is everyone doing? Zambika is with us on Instagram. Saz is with us on YouTube. Andrew is with us on YouTube. Hey Zambika. Bud Bates is with us. Hello. CC Wheezy has joined us. Michael, hello. Kitu, Marco, Marcio is giving us a thumbs up. Amazing Edits is asking how I'm doing. I'm doing pretty good. Amazing Edits. Thank you for joining tonight. Let's see what else we got going on here. Galaxy is with us. Trust God is with us. Hello, Trust God. Gustavo. I'm just reading all you guys' messages. Hello, Trust God. Salvador is with us. Marcio from Brazil is with us. Zoman, hello. Victor. Marie from California, who's currently in Reno, is waving at us. Hey, Blondie, thank you for joining me. Marie is a longtime friend. Marie on Instagram right now. I'm going to tell the story, Marie. I met Marie when she was approximately 13 years old, and I was like 17. And I met her one night in California. She came over to the house to make a phone call. And, blonde, 13-year-old girl from California. And she almost strangled herself on the phone cord upon hanging up the phone. And to this day, I tease her about that. So, yeah, Marie, you didn't think I was going to let that one go, did you? So thank you for joining us, Marie. Cynthia is with us on Instagram. Hello, Cynthia. Marie is home now. She's not in Reno anymore. She's laughing. Amazing Edits. Hello from Germany at 3 a.m. Wow. It's amazing how you guys are either insomniacs or you just stay up late to watch this show. Either way, I appreciate you guys being with me here. On YouTube, we have Michael Cox. Hello. Summer is with us. Welcome, Summer. Hard Productions is with us. Xanders is with us on YouTube. Xander says, good afternoon. Where are you located again, Xanders? Because it's most definitely not afternoon where I'm at. Hard Productions saying hello to Saz. We're all doing well, Galaxy. Just joining up for our nightly chit chat. Cynthia is from Argentina. I love how we have a global audience. Kimmy has joined us. So I posted an announcement last night for those of you that saw it. And I asked for you guys to submit any the best but least viewed Walking Dead fan video, and you guys can get a chance to be my co-host for a night. I got a lot more responses than I was expecting, and I received quite a few submissions, and even though no final decisions have been made yet, I am pretty 100% certain that I'm going to be having several different special guest co-hosts over a span of different nights. So that's very exciting. I just came up with the idea on a whim yesterday. Hey, Tristan on Instagram. Marcio is giving us a thumbs up. Kimmy is waving at us. Carlos has joined us on Instagram. So yeah, on a whim last night, I'm like, let's do this. This will be fun. It'll be a way to get more video submissions, pictures, or whatever. And I love having guest co-hosts. So, I've got a selection to go through. I will tell you one thing. Summer is going to be one of those co-hosts. So you guys are going to get to see me and Summer share the screen. She's agreed to be a guest co-host. I'm so psyched. It's going to be a fun night with Summer. We're going to be going back and forth. And Summer, I'll tell you what, I thought of the greatest little quiz. Not a quiz, but I'm going to put you to the test. We know you have the hots from almost every guy on The Walking Dead. Almost every guy. So I'm gonna have you. I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm just gonna have you do some picking. I have a great plan set up, and I'm gonna keep it a secret until you're actually on the screen with me. So we just need to work out the date. Let's see. Brenda, hello, Brenda. Ramon, how often do you go live? Ramon asks. Every night at this time, every night. Yep, it's a daily show. Sola Casteras has joined us. Sol Casteras, welcome, Sol Casteras. Thank you for joining us tonight. Andrew Mulligan, he's monitoring both YouTube and Instagram tonight. VE's giving us a thumbs up. Thank you for joining us. Marcio is from Brazil. Galaxy on Instagram saying, having the hots for almost every guy on The Walking Dead. Ha ha ha, that's you. Yep, so you got some competition there, Summer. Kimmy says, yay, Summer. Yeah, it's going to be a fun night with Summer. I'm going to have some fun with Summer when she's co-hosting with me. 7MA has joined us on Instagram. So yeah, I want to thank you guys for those submissions. They're awesome. I know I didn't give you guys a lot of time, but I was really surprised at the response we got. I think it's great. And if you guys monitor the social media, you saw that about a couple of hours ago, I posted a new video from Andrew. It's called Negan, I Am the Alpha. As always, great work from Andrew. YouTube channel UWU Andrew. He's also our creative director for us here on Dead Talk Live. And of course, you guys are going to get to see it because it has not been on social media that long. And I'm pretty sure the majority of you have not seen it yet. So I'm going to play it for you guys right now. And it's called Negan, I Am the Alpha. Enjoy.
You are a waste. An alpha. We'll see it. I ain't going anywhere. Something we can both agree on. You won't be going anywhere. You have got to be shitting me.
Soldier, keep on marching
My
on.
goddamn skin suit.
We haven't formally met, but I sure as hell know who you are. Whatever you want, whatever I got, it's yours.
Soldier, keep on marching on. Soldier, keep on marching.
I thought you wanted them to join us.
They will. Part of my horde.
Head down to the
If not, I have been where you are right now.
My name, it meant something. I saved people.
Soldier, keep on marching on.
Thing you've been looking for.
Quiet night, gonna wake the
I
beat.
found it.
Hide your soul out of his reach.
So there you go. Great work, Andrew, as always. That was amazing. Galaxy is leaving us on Instagram. Good night, Galaxy. Thank you for stopping by. Cookie on Instagram says, I never liked the alpha. Amazing edits, right? He is the alpha. He is, and he will always be the alpha. Kimmy, great video. Buddha, Bud Bates. Awesome. So yeah, lots of hearts there, Andrew. I'm sorry you saw them on Instagram as well. It's a great video. Thank you for making that. iCruiser McCabe is giving 3 love hearts. So amazing work as always, Andrew. So let's see what else we have in the form of announcements here. I also got, I'm just going to show you guys some random stuff that I got. Thorgon9, who is a regular viewer of ours and a huge Walking Dead fan, to put it mildly, sent me a video that he's from the UK, and he sent me a video of his trip to Sonoy, Georgia, to the bridge that Rick blew up in his final episode. So Thorgon, don't know if you're watching. If you are, thank you for sending this video along with some other great stuff as well. But I am going to show the video of you on the bridge. So this is a real live video of the actual bridge that Rick blew up in season 9, episode 5. And I think it's amazing.
You are a waste.
Okay guys, this is the bridge Rick Grimes was. Unfortunately the connection here is terrible for a live on Instagram, so I have to do it this way. Unfortunately it's been graffitied, the bridge with special effects, wood and everything, but we're actually at the location and there's a deer. Look, if I go like that, there's a deer in the distance. There she goes. So I'm lucky to see the deer. Maybe Rick Grimes is with me after all. And just to reenact a family, I found them. So I'll just post this later, but this is where he would have gone over into the river and down. So catch you later guys.
So what do you guys think about that, huh? The actual bridge that Rick blew up. I mean, I was watching this and I'm like, wow. All right, wow. The amazing thing of special effects. What a shame that they graffitied the shit out of that bridge. To us fans here, that bridge is like a monument. And they defaced the crap out of it with all that graffiti. But yeah, that's exactly as it looks like in the episode. Yeah, everyone's saying wow and awesome. It was awesome, and I had to share that with you guys. So Thorgon, if you're watching this now or you're going to watch this later on, thank you so much for sharing that with us. Great video. And yeah, it just goes to show you guys, they film on location all throughout Sonoy, Georgia. So that was very, very cool. Very cool. And like I said, my initial reaction when watching that, I'm like, okay, it's not blown up. It's still intact. And it makes you think, when they were showing the episodes leading up to that one, how you saw the bridge was half destroyed by the storm that went through. And that's what they were trying to fix, because that was going to be the lifeline between the Hilltop, Alexandria, and the Sanctuary. And Rick was trying desperately to repair that bridge. And it blows me away how the special effects, not only when they blew up the bridge, but all the episodes leading up to that, on how the bridge was about to crumble. So the miracle of modern video editing, you gotta love it. Mayabeth is saying, cool. Marko says, I have a question for the fans. Did you believe Eugene at first when he claimed he knew how to fix the apocalypse? So Marko has a question for you guys. How many people here believed Eugene when we first met him, that his claims that he knew how to fix the apocalypse? So Myth Money 345, I actually did think he could. CC Wheezy saying, no, Marko, I didn't, because he would have never given up details about it. I believed him. I didn't know where they were going to go with it on the show, I I can't say I believed him, but I thought he might have something up his sleeve on trying something at least. But for it to be a complete bold-faced lie, it kind of threw me off a little. It surprised me a little bit. Trust God also writes, I believed him. So we have a mixed bag of answers there. Summer did believe him. Hard Productions did not believe him for a second. Saz, I wanted to believe him, but I was suspicious. Yep, that's more my feeling too, Saz. I thought he might have some kind of... I knew he was probably, at the least, playing up whatever idea he might have had. But I was surprised to find out it was just a complete bold-faced lie. I gotta admit, I was surprised. I was surprised. So moving on to some different news. Michael Rooker, who played Merle, Merle, he gave an interview where he explains how he believes that AMC and the Walking Dead producers he thinks he didn't know what they wanted to do with the Merle character on the TV show. So he gave a whole interview on it, and here's an excerpt from that article. Michael Rooker says the Walking Dead producers AMC didn't know what to do with his character Merle, the volatile older brother of Daryl Dixon, Norman Reedus, created for the television show by the series developer and then showrunner Frank Darabont. Merle first appears in the show's second episode, Guts, when Rick Grimes, played by Andrew Lincoln, cools tensions between T-Dog and a racist and reckless Merle. Rooker would appear twice in the 6-episode first season of the zombie drama and just once in the show's second season, later returning as a series regular for his third and final season of The Walking Dead. It's basically 3 years of work as they held off on the second season. I'm not sure AMC knew what to do with the character, Rooker told Sci-Fi Wire ahead of a virtual appearance at GalaxyCon Live. They held off, and the moment I came back in the sequence when Norman's character has fallen down into the ravine, and I end up being his guardian angel who comes up to him and antagonizes him enough to force him to get up and climb, it was just a gorgeous way to bring the character back. Following his hallucinated cameo appearance in Season 2 episode Chupacabra, a missing Merle resurfaces as one of the governors, played by David Morrissey, lieutenants, when Rick, Daryl, and the group of Atlanta survivors relocate from a farm to a prison. Despite his increased role in the third season, its first season episode, Tell It to the Frogs, that contains Rooker's favorite Walking Dead scene. From day one all the way to the death of Merle, my favorite sequence was in the beginning, on the rooftop, Rooker said. I'm handcuffed to the roof. T-Dog drops the key down the pipe. It was a grate. I can't get loose and I end up cutting my hand off. The whole sequence for me was unbelievable. To be able to do a 9-minute monologue was fantastic. So there you guys have it. According to the actor himself, AMC, the Walking Dead producers, he feels they didn't know what to do with the character. Personally, I liked how they did it. After season 2, I think we all, I can't speak for all of us, I kind of gave up on ever seeing Merle again. We saw him in that hallucination. I remember that episode very clearly. But that was just a hallucination. For him to come back as one of the governor's lieutenants, that was a surprise for me. Let's see what's going on. Amazing Edits writes, I wanted to see more of Merle. We saw a lot of Merle. He was a really big, predominant character in season 3. Blackies1618 has joined us on Instagram. Matthew55 has joined us on Instagram. Nader2391 has joined us on Instagram. Jimenez has joined us on Instagram. Delali has joined us. Marko has joined us on Instagram. Welcome, 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 everybody. So, as far as Merle goes, I love this character in season 3. He was a bad guy, and I asked this question several weeks ago on who actually thought that if he was to live, what were the chances that Merle can actually do a character recovery from being the racist dick that he was into actually being a somewhat likable guy. And it was a pretty mixed bag of answers, but I believe the predominant answer was just couldn't really see it happening. And that probably played a role into how the writers and the producers decided to determine Merle's fate of being killed by the governor, allowing him to turn, for his brother Daryl to find, and Daryl had to be the one to put him down. Stanley is waving at us. Hey, Stanley. Amazing Edits also writes, I was surprised to see him back. Me too. Me too. I was surprised. CC Wheezy. Carter, he cut his hand off. You knew he was still alive. A guy like that don't die easy. That's right. And Daryl even says it. Have you met my brother? He's the toughest son of a bitch I've ever met. So, Rodriguez has joined us on Instagram. So that's absolutely correct. Hard Production writes, I kind of liked Merle towards the end. Yeah, he was trying to, after they captured him and had him in the prison, he was still a douche, but they were trying to see that he did have maybe some redeemable qualities. I guess that's the best way to put it. That he did have some redeemable qualities. So, but in the end, I just couldn't see him becoming a full-on team member, and so I think they gave him a proper ending there. That's just my opinion. I think, I liked how they ended his character arc. So you guys remember Jim from season 1? Remember Jim got bit in the raid that killed Amy, Andrea's sister, and they were heading to the CDC. He was left by a tree by his own request. They left him with a gun, and that's the last we see of Jim. As opposed to Merle, we never saw Jim again. And he was bit, so we know that he wasn't going to survive. But Marko sent me a very cool picture today. I'm sure a lot of you guys have already seen this picture comparison, but I want to show you guys this picture. So take a look at this. Season 1, Jim. That's them leaving him with the gun. And then check out season 4. Almost identical position. So who here thinks that might be Jim? Hard Production says, nope, that's not Jim. What do you Instagram people think? Hard Production goes on to say he was by a road. That's true. That's true. This scene in season 4, you can't see what's in front of the walker, so I don't particularly remember this clip from season 4, so I can't honestly say. But, interesting comparison. They're almost in identical positions. And, they left him the gun so he can take himself out whenever he wanted to. Maybe he couldn't do it. I love this show because they fill it with all these kind of little hints and just make you kind of come up with your own guesses as to what really happened. Marko writes he could have moved. Hard Production writes Herschel and Carl were in the middle of the woods. Yeah, I know. In that top picture, it's right off the highway. I get you. I get you. I see that. But it wouldn't be the first time a little minor discrepancy like that has happened on this show. Let's see what's going on Instagram. Amazing edits. Does agree with you, Hot Productions. It was at a road. Kimmy doesn't think so. Amazing Edits doesn't think so. CC Wheezy writes he was on the side of the road. Trust God writes, but he could have wandered off the road to the woods as a walker. That's definitely true. CC Wheezy writes that's outside the prison. All right, but if you guys remember season 2, when season 2 ended, remember when the camera was panning out and we saw the prison in the background? I mean, it was what, maybe a quarter mile from where they were hiding out that night. But when season 3 starts, there many weeks have passed between the end of season 2 and the beginning of season 3. And it took all those weeks for them to find a prison that, according to the screenshot at the end of the season 2, was maybe a quarter mile away from them. You know what I'm saying? So who knows? They might have been going around in circles for those couple of weeks. We have no idea. I always found that funny. I always remembered that at the end of season 2, when just before the credits, the camera pans out and you see the prison in the background. Like, boom, that's what next season is going to be about. Season 3 starts, and that's the episode where we see them wandering around. I also believe that's the episode where Carl picks up a can of cat food or dog food, and Rick smacks it out of his hand. But they were wandering for weeks to find a prison that was literally, half a mile away. So Andrew Valentin writes, true. Hey, Andrew, thank you for joining us. G is waving at us. Hey, G, thank you for being with us tonight. Summer writes, that was the best ending. Yes, the famous Rick democracy, Ricktatorship, Rickocracy, whichever way you remember it speech. Kimmy says it was dog food. Okay, cool. Dog food. I remember that. He's like, my son is not going to be eating dog food, and just smacks it right out of his hand. And Carl was like, I was going to eat that. My dad just knocked it out of my hand. Anyway, that was hysterical. Summer writes, wandering about 8 months from the look at Lori's belly. You're right. The reason I said a couple of weeks is I vaguely remember like an interview on Talking Dead. I don't know if Talking Dead was around in season 3. Talking Dead started at season 2. I vaguely remember an interview where someone might have mentioned it was a couple of weeks. Maybe I'm not remembering correctly. It was a couple of months, but you're right. Lori was well into her final trimester to giving birth to Judith. And that's what made Rick even more desperate. He wanted to find a safe place for, the baby to be born. Zambika writes, I would eat dog food to survive. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Carl was like, I was going to eat that. And his dad just knocked it out of his hands. Andrew Valentine writes, you will give him a healthy coat. Absolutely true, Andrew. Absolutely true. You would give him a healthy coat. Keep that coat nice and shiny. Let's see. Marko sent me another picture. Marko's all into Pinterest. As well as him being all into TikTok now. So Marko is constantly sending me these cool pictures from Pinterest. So guys, imagine, we've all heard the rumors that there's going to be a Daryl Dixon movie, right? We've all heard them. I've mentioned them here on the show. So Marko found this poster that a fan made of if there is going to be a Daryl Dixon movie, what would you think about this poster? So let me show that to you guys. Let me take this down. So here is Fight the Dead, Fear Daryl, The Walking Dead, starring Norman Reedus. And if you look at the very bottom, it's kind of fuzzy for the Instagram people. I'll read it out. At the very bottom, it says starring Norman Reedus. And then in small print, it says, and some other people. I love that. I love that. Whoever did this Photoshop did a good job. Fight the Dead, Fear Daryl, The Walking Dead. I think that's hysterical. Amazing edits, right? Haha, that looks amazing. Summer writes that was gonna have they were gonna have roasted owl that night. Daryl made sure of that. Yes, Saz is laughing at the picture. Yeah. So if there is gonna be a Daryl Dixon movie, who knows? If there is gonna be a Daryl Dixon movie, man, I really don't see it coming out before the last Rick Grimes movie is out. But that's just a guess. Summer goes on to say, just add Connie and I'd watch. Oh, you would watch it with just Daryl. Come on. Connie doesn't have to be in it for you to watch. Valine has joined us on Instagram. Money says, because of Shane and her reaction when Rick told her, he killed him. Yeah. Zambika Rick was pissed and hurt by Lori. Yeah, there was a lot of tension between those two. And of course, she was pregnant by Shane and Rick knew it. Yes. That would create a little bit of tension. But, to give Rick credit, once Judith was born, he did not give a shit. That was his daughter. That was his daughter, and never for a second did he make any of us feel any differently. V's giving us a thumbs up on Instagram. Zambika, he knew that baby isn't his, absolutely. CC Wheezy, also because Rick was always willing to run off. What do you mean, run off? You mean run off and try to save the day? Yeah, he was definitely, that was definitely part of his personality there. Absolutely. No doubt about that. Let's see. So Morrissey, you guys remember David Morrissey, who played the governor. The governor has been gone for 6+ years out of this storyline. But David Morrissey loves to talk about the character of the governor that he played. David Morrissey is a brilliant actor, and he played the governor perfectly. He went on to say that he fully anticipated the backlash that his character received, and him as an actor, after he killed off Herschel. And I'm like, you think? You think? I love David Morrissey. He's a brilliant actor. And like I always say, if we have someone on this show that we either really love or really hate, like the governor, like J.D. Morgan and Negan, who we love now and hated back then, that's just a sign of a great actor. And David Morrissey played the governor brilliantly. Marko says he states it was one of his best roles. And this is a guy that's been in a lot of stuff. David Morrissey is not some small-time actor. He's been in a lot of stuff. He's been around the block, I'll tell you that much. Amazing edits, right? The governor was amazing. You just love to hate him. You just love to hate him. He pulled off that, he's your best friend, and with that pretty boy look of his, and I'm here to protect you, and then the moment you turn your back, he will stab you in it. Marco says he's done a lot of London stage work. Yep, theater actor. I believe Andrew Lincoln has also done a lot of theater work as well. So, Summer submitted this great picture to me. And the picture aside, I loved how she explained it to me in a private Instagram message. Summer, I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to share what you told me. This picture that I'm going to show you that Summer sent me it was an apology gift for her. So someone must have really screwed up there, Summer. And but whoever that someone was, they knew exactly how to get back into your good graces. So however badly they screwed up and they got you that apology gift, I hope you two have made up. So let me show everybody that picture of the apology gift. So there you go. That is a full-size, over-the-bed picture of Rishon. And I love above the curtain rod, you have the little stuffed figures of Rick and Michonne. And then those are the two action figures that she won from our show. What a perfect setup. What a perfect setup. Now, you know, Summer, hey Gypsy, thank you for joining us. Summer, you know, that's a great gift. And you got to give props to whoever got it for you. But if, you know, when I was looking at this, I'm like, okay, if they really, really screwed up, and this was like a huge, like, apology type thing, I was thinking they probably would have gotten that framed. Or am I just thinking on a different level here? Would you have liked to have gotten that framed and maybe hung on your wall? Or do you like it just as it is, you know, just pinned up right above the bed right there? Either way, it looks great. It's a great picture. I love it. I love it. And the quality of that poster looks amazing. Zambika writes, that's beautiful. Amazing edits. Also says it's beautiful. Money 345 says gorgeous. Kimmy says great decor. Cruiser is saying beautiful. Everybody loves it. Everybody loves it, Summer. So I had to show that off. I love that setup. The poster picture, the Rishon dolls, and then the action figures right above them. So there you go. That was one of the Summer says he is getting me a frame. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I got from my wife a couple of weeks ago. She has this Photoshop picture that she uses on her desktop computer. And it's a fan-made Photoshop. And I was trying forever to find it, to get it framed and printed as a gift for her. I even contacted the artist. It's from back in 2013. The artist never got a hold of me, so I said, screw it. I got the picture. I sent it to online place, and we got it back, beautifully framed and everything. It's awesome. There's not a picture out there, guys, if you really love it, that you can't just send a copy of it to online printing store. And whether you get a frame or not, that's completely up to you. But, you know, within a week or two, it'll show up on your door ready to hang up on your wall. That's the modern conveniences that we live with today. So let's get to today's topic. We're almost 40 minutes into this show. I say it every night, but time does fly. Tonight, we are going to be talking about some of the untold truths of The Walking Dead. And it's the type of thing where I have to bring up the article. Zambika writes, that's awesome, Viz. Thank you, Zambika. It's tonight's topic. I have to bring up the article because it's the whole thing is interesting. So this is the governor thing that I already touched upon. So let me go ahead and bring up the article that we're going to be doing tonight. The Untold Truth of The Walking Dead. So there's a lot of stuff here that we already know. But there are some interesting nuggets in here that some of us may not know. When comic book writer Robert Kirkman first came up with the concept of The Walking Dead, he didn't want his idea to fester in some pile of generic zombie pitches, so he added a little something extra to the mix: aliens. Kirkman revealed that when he first approached Image Comics about his story ideas, they thought it needed an extra hook, so he threw in an otherworldly element, suggesting that his zombies could have been sent to Earth by aliens. Kirkman never intended to follow through on that plot track, but it got him the green light. Ultimately, Kirkman did circle back on the aliens theme in issue 75, which featured a non-canonical bonus ending that served as sort of a homage to the original concept. So, yeah, I don't know how many of you guys might have known that. Not, detrimental to the storyline, but in order for him to get his comics printed, the agency wanted him to throw more than just zombies in there, so he pitched the idea of aliens. Aliens sent to Earth. Wait, zombies sent to Earth by aliens. Talk about weird. Tony Moore, whose artwork appeared in the first 6 issues of the comics, filed suit against Kirkman after he felt duped into signing over his financial rights to the franchise and was owed a significant slice of the brainy pie once the series hit big. Kirkman disagreed and filed a countersuit against Moore. Allegedly, he breached their confidentiality agreement, blah, 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 blah. How many times have we seen this happen? People sell the rights over to something. It becomes huge, and they feel like they're owed more money. And the biggest example that comes to mind for me is the whole backstory of Facebook. I don't know how many of you guys saw the movie Social Network, where Zuckerberg got sued left and right. But anyway, Zuckerberg did some shitty thing. But anyway, I don't know if this is that's the best example. But the point I'm trying to make is, if you agree to sign the rights over to something, you're getting money. They're not cheating you. It's probably what it's worth at that time. Just because the person you sell it to takes it and makes it huge does not automatically mean you're entitled to more money. You sold over the rights. Deal with it. Deal with it. So, while The Walking Dead might seem like a no-brainer for the same network that brought us all Breaking Bad, AMC wasn't the first place the show was pitched to by producers. Greg Nicotero told the Huffington Post that Gail Hurd originally approached other networks, including NBC, HBO, about the series, but they asked her to compromise on the gore factor, something that became such a staple of the series TV run with AMC. Thank goodness we wound up at AMC, Nicotero said. They totally get this show right from the beginning. They've been completely trusting and supportive of what I've been trying to do with this series. Of course, that creative free reign would have proved to be just as big as Boone in the network ratings, and HBO would soon follow suit in the grimness, gore, and guts department with Game of Thrones. And that's something that our producer Marko has brought up in the past with us. The Walking Dead was pitched to HBO and a whole bunch of other channels. They turned it down for it being too gory. And then HBO goes on to air the Game of Thrones. Now, I don't know. We've talked about this before. I don't know how many Game of Thrones fans we have out here. But in a lot of respects, Game of Thrones is a lot more disturbing to me than The Walking Dead. That's just my opinion. Zombika on Instagram writes, a zombie movie without the gore would just be boring. Absolutely. Jason has given us a thumbs up. Amazing Edits writes, aliens, really? Yeah, well, I guess he had to come up with something on the fly there. And aliens was the first thing that popped in his mind. So let's see what this is. McCreary is responsible. That's boring. Darabont, of course, he's the guy that brought the show to TV and still in lawsuits for his firing. We've talked about that plenty of times. Litigation is still ongoing with that. But this is the guy right here, Frank Darabont. He is the one that is responsible for bringing the Walking Dead comic books onto our TV screens. That's him. And he was fired after season 1. And we mentioned also in earlier episodes that because of his departure from the show, Dale, the character Dale, asked to be killed off the show. He was really upset that Darabont got fired. But we've covered that plenty of times. Don't want to dwell too much on that again. The second showrunner also got the boot. After Darabont's untimely departure from the series, his deputy Glenn Mazzara was promoted for season 2, but his tenure on top would not last long. After production on the second season was complete, writer Scott Gimple was called upon to take the lead, with Mazzara getting an unceremonious goodbye from the network. Rumors swirled that it was Kirkman who orchestrated his ouster, but Kirkman denied that, telling Rolling Stone, "It's unfortunate when someone of his stature starts saying stuff because it seems like they're in the know, but they're really not. It's definitely awkward because it wasn't like I had someone fired." For his part, Mazzara cited creative differences as the reason for the second switcheroo, saying, "I can't say I wanted to do this. They wanted to do that. It was just an accumulation of differences in tone, approach, storytelling. There wasn't any common ground. It was better to split amicably." You know, I'm wondering when it comes to, I have no idea what happens in, Hollywood TV world, but as far as, what they call now the showrunner, which back in the day was just the executive producer, the main producer on the show. I wonder if it's the network that controls if he stays or if he or she stays or goes or what. I'm assuming it's the network. So, I don't know. Instagram people, I see your chats, but as I've mentioned before, because of the white-on-white contrast, I'm having a hard time reading them. So, but I am trying to read them. Amazing Edit writes, the little Walker girl. So, Luciana's giving us a big love, smiley love face. Now, this is an interesting tidbit. The first person to be cast on the show was not who you think. Considering he's been the central face of the series for the whole show, the Walking Dead fans might suspect that Andrew Lincoln was the first person to be chosen for the role of Rick Grimes in the show, but that was surprisingly not the case. Lincoln told The Hollywood Reporter that he was actually cast after Lenny James, who played Morgan, in the pilot, and then disappeared for several seasons until returning in the middle of season 3. So it was Morgan who was the first person that was cast for the Walking Dead TV show. Let's see, Amazing Edits, right? He got fired because he made lots of mistakes. For example, the little girl who was in the first episode took his teddy up. The little Walker girl. I knew what you meant there, Amazing Edits. Luciana, like I said, is giving us a big smiley love face. Nice. I can scroll up and see what you guys wrote now. Jaish is giving us a thumbs up. So let's go on to the next little tidbit here. Andrew Lincoln almost took another role. In a major case of Hollywood sliding doors, Andrew Lincoln almost wasn't cast as Sheriff Rick because he had accepted a role in another film at the time. But life got in the way of him doing that movie because, as he told The Hollywood Reporter, his second child was born shortly before the film was expected to commence production, and he decided against going away to shoot it. Good for him. I got a friend to replace me in this movie, and the next day, this script came through from AMC. I must have been on their radar with Frank Darabont, and he wanted me to test. It was incredible, he explained. Well, that was a very good decision right there. We got him into the audition. What got him into the audition to begin with, he later revealed, was the fact that Darabont was involved, and he believed that he meant the show could have a real future worth moving his growing family for. As he told Rolling Stone, Frank talked us into getting on that plane. Yes, so we're all glad that Andrew Lincoln was cast as Rick Grimes. I don't think anybody here would argue that point. Bay is waving at us. Welcome, Bay. Norman Reedus' crossbow-wielding hero Daryl Dixon has emerged as one of the show's fan favorites, but Reedus originally auditioned for the part of Merle. Oh, God. Which was already assigned to Michael Rooker. Showrunners liked him so much they created the part of Daryl, a character who, like Merle, does not appear in the comics. Specifically just for him, Daryl has been purposely left asexual. That's in quotes. Daryl has been purposely left asexual in order to preserve his mysterious appeal, despite many fans' ships of him with various ladies on the show. Asexual? Are you kidding me? I mean, we just, assume that the guy just, I don't know, but asexual? They just called him asexual in that article. Amazing Edit writes, oh God, TWD, LMA, laughing her ass off, running walkers, odds. Oh man, they were climbing and running. Oh my God, I had to go back out of there. Marko writes, Reedus would have also made a great Shane. Yeah. I'm just, I don't get the whole asexual thing. I don't think any of us here would call Daryl asexual. Zombika writes, no, he's not asexual, no way. Kimmy writes, yes, Marko, but then he would be gone by now. Marko writes, he's not shy. It does exist, that term. Yeah, but he's not asexual. Summer writes, asexual, ? Asexual means a person who has basically no sexual interest. I guess is the best kind of way to explain it. Neither straight, gay, bi, just not into it. That's the best definition I can give you. Amazing Edits goes on to say, I wished to see Daryl in the comics. Also, he can't be asexual. Yeah, I mean, please, he's not asexual. I mean, it couldn't be more obvious that he has the hots for Connie. Saz writes, it's all part of the mystery of Daryl Dixon. Saz also says, who knows, Marko, you could end up with Aaron. Toilet Brush Salesman is with us on YouTube. Maybe asexual because he's quite an outdoors guy? I don't know about that. TW Soul says he is. Xander's laughing out loud. Well, he's never really showed any particular affection towards anyone other than maybe Rick. Well, yeah, I would definitely, though, describe Daryl's and Rick relationship more as brotherly, not sexually in any way. That's just my take on that. Amazing Edits writes, but whatever, Daryl will be Daryl. Yeah, just let him be. Zombika writes, I think it was starting to fall for Beth. He loved Beth as a little sister, not in a sexual way. He loved Beth. Remember, he's the one that shot the bitch cop that killed Beth. That was his first reaction. He pulls out his gun and shoots her square in the head. Kimmy writes, maybe because he had such a rough upbringing, or we don't know what happened in his younger years. Good point, Kimmy. That's a good point. Everyone loved Beth. Amazing edits, writes. And Marco agrees. He saw Beth as a little sister. We're almost out of time, but let's see if we can get one little nugget in here from that article. Where do I have it here? Where do I have it? There it is. Criminal cast activities. Some of The Walking Dead's cast members have found themselves in hot water for their off-camera bad behavior near the show's Georgia set. In 2012, Scott Wilson, who played Herschel, was arrested for drunk driving and was said to have been swaying and asked to do a yoga poses instead of a field sobriety test. When he was pulled over by police, his character Herschel, fans might recall, was a recovering alcoholic. Then in 2015, Seth Gilliam, who played the Reverend Gabriel, was also arrested for DUI as being a reckless driving and possession of marijuana. So, Father Gabriel likes to stoke the weed after being stopped for speeding at 107 miles per hour at a 55 mile per hour zone. Yep, he was definitely speeding there. During the production on the second episode of the inaugural season, The Walking Dead's cast and crew got an unexpected set of visitors, the police's SWAT team. Michael Rooker was on the rooftop shooting Merle's rifle to simulate a zombie sniper session, but onlookers mistook his behavior for the real deal and called the cops. I did not know that. That's funny as shit. You see Michael Rooker on top of a rooftop with a rifle, yeah, you're going to call the cops. People down below don't know that you're filming a TV show. That's funny. Father Gabriel was stoking the weed. Did not know that. Gabe, stoking the weed. CC Weezy's laughing. Yeah, did not know that. Father Gabriel. He's stoking the weed. Anyway, guys, we are out of time for tonight. This has been fun as always. Thank you for joining me tonight. Toilet Brush Salesman on YouTube writes, well, there's been so many cast members that have been gone. It's just the odds that some bad things are going to happen. Absolutely. These guys, these people, they're just human beings. Yeah, there's no excuse for DUI. Speeding at 107 miles per hour on a 55 mile per hour road. Shit. Any of us who drive, we all have sped. So, anyway, Xanders, thank you so much for the compliment. Xander says, great show, Viz. Thank you to all you guys for joining me tonight. I'll be back tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m. Check out our website, deadtalklive.com. Check out our YouTube page, Walking Dead Now. Check out our podcast called Stay Walking. You guys are awesome as always. And thank you to all of you who have participated tonight and those who have just watched. I love everybody. Till tomorrow, stay walking.